pizza. Okay, so I've got my list here. These are my most asked questions, and I am just going to blaze on right through these questions with answers. First question is, how long have you been in braces? I have been in them for now 2.5 years. I was supposed to get them off back in August. It is currently mid-January, and I'm hoping that I get them off by May. My orthodontist said by my next appointment, she should be able to give me an end date, which my next appointment would be in February. And I would assume that no matter what we're doing, there's always going to be like an extra month tacked on, just because you kind of want to have a month of letting your teeth stay in the position you want them in before the braces get removed. Next question is, why did you get braces? This is actually my 3rd time in braces. I had preteen braces, or youth braces, I think is what they call them, and those only go from canine to canine on your uppers and lowers. Those were to correct some crooked teeth, but also to close an open underbite. I had a really, really bad underbite as a teenager, and then later you get a full set, but you kind of like come out of that set for a while, and then all your adult teeth come in, and then you get the full set put on. But after both sets, I was never given retainers, and my mom requested me to have retainers, and they were like, no, she doesn't need retainers, she'll be fine. Well, guess what? Girl needed retainers because my teeth were all jacked up. However, the only reason I actually got braces for the 3rd time was because I had a really bad open crossbite, and every time I was going to the dentist, my dentist was saying, your jaw is really sliding a little more and a little more every single time. And it was just, I was chewing like a cow, like literally like having to grind my food up because none of my back teeth or front teeth were touching. So the reason I got braces again was to correct an open crossbite. Next question is, why do I have half ceramic and half metal braces? This is just a personal preference with the line of work that I do. I host events on a monthly basis that are about 40 people large, and then on a quarterly basis, I host events that are 200 to 300 people large, and I am literally the host of these events minus my boss and like his number 2 guy. Which is also my boss. I am also the only person in the room that ever has crazy colored hair, so I got ceramic on top because they're a little bit more invisible, and I got metal on bottom because you never see my bottom teeth. Like, except for right now, just because of the angle, like you can really see my bottom teeth, but typically when I'm talking and smiling, you never really see my bottom teeth. Oh, and the ceramic was an additional charge, so since you weren't going to see them, I didn't really see a point in getting them on the bottom. Next question is, what are the rubber band thingies? I do get this question a lot. There are 2 different rubber bands that you use when you have braces. One is the little band that goes around your bracket here, and that holds the wire in to your brackets, which helps make your teeth move and line them up. Those are actually called ligatures. You can get them in different colors. I usually just do clears on my uppers, and then sometimes I do color on the bottom. It depends on if I have an event coming up or not. And then the bands that go around and they hook to like these little hooks, those are called elastics, and those will help move your jaw and your teeth a little more depending on what your orthodontist wants to happen. So ligatures and elastic. Next question is, are you afraid of the ceramic removal process? Heck yeah, because I had one ceramic bracket removed to be repositioned because the tooth that we were removing when we initially put the braces on was not in the right position to adhere the bracket how my orthodontist wanted it to be. And when she had to remove the ceramic brackets, they're a lot different to remove than the metal elastics, or the metal brackets. The metal brackets kind of just pop off, if I recall correctly. They squeeze them a little bit and they kind of just right off. The ceramic brackets, however, are adhered with acrylic, if I listened to that correctly. And they basically have to break the bracket and shatter the acrylic. So it was not a very pleasant sound to remove just that one bracket. So I am not looking forward to having to remove a full set of them, but I will let you guys know once they are removed how the process went and if there was any tips that I have during it to make it a little more comfortable. The next question was, you have ceramic brackets and a metal wire. Is the metal wire very noticeable? No, and you don't really have an option as to what kind of wire you get. I do know some orthodontists will use a gold or gold plated wire, I think. Pretty sure that that's like a different strength or shape of wire. I just have a metal one. You don't really notice it, so no. How does it feel when you got your braces put on? It's a little uncomfortable, but it's only uncomfortable because you're sitting there like with the mouth thingy that like holds your lips open for you. And you're just sitting there. They have to they put this gel on your teeth that kind of cleans them off, I think. And then they put a different gel on your teeth that preps it for the glue or the cement that they're using to adhere the bracket to your tooth. But it's not painful or anything. It's just uncomfortable and you're just chilling there waiting for them to do them. So, next question is, what did your friends and family say to you when you got your braces put on? My family didn't really care. Again, this is my third time in braces. My husband was super supportive of me getting them, only because he knew how uncomfortable I was in social situations when I had to eat. That was another problem with having an open bite. You can't really eat certain foods in public without being sloppy and messy, like noodles and pizza and burgers, anything that you really need to like chew through with your teeth in order to eat it. So like I was cutting up burgers with a fork and knife. I was cutting up pizza with a fork and knife. So my family didn't care. They didn't say anything. Friends were kind of hit and miss as to if they even noticed. I just had a friend back in October notice my braces for the first time. I had them on for more than 2 years at that point, and she had just noticed them. She was like, "Oh, you got clear braces. How long have you had those on?" I was like, "More than 2 years?" And she looked at me like, "Oh my God, I've never even noticed them." So it just depends on how much you talk with your mouth. I talk a lot with my hands, so I think I redirect a lot. But yeah, people don't really care. I mean, you're doing something to improve your life, your health, and improve how you feel about yourself, and I think people are all for that nowadays. Next question is, what color bands are least likely to get stained? I think just as a general idea when it comes to band colors, anything darker isn't going to get stained as much, whereas the lighter colors will. And depending on what color it is, it stains in a different way, which kind of rolls into the next question, which is, how do you keep your clear brackets clear? And this is a super common misconception when it comes to clear braces. The actual bracket is, I'm pretty sure it's acrylic, so it's not going to stain. Like, it's really hard to stain your bracket. I've never once heard of someone staining their actual bracket. The thing that you're staining, which mine currently are, because I've had them in for a month and I'm due to go into the orthodontist, is that ligature that wraps around your bracket that holds your wire in. That sucker is the thing that stains. And if you get clear ones, they stain pretty, well, I shouldn't say pretty easily. I guess it depends on the brand, because every time I go in, my orthodontist praises me for how clear I keep mine. But things to stay away from are things that would normally stain clothing if you maybe spilt it or rubbed it on it. So, wine, tea, coffee, and dark sodas are definitely something to stay away from. You don't have to like religiously stay away from them, but like if you're gonna drink them, definitely go brush your teeth. I can't have caffeine, just for a health reason, so I don't drink coffee or tea, and I'm allergic to wine, so I don't drink wine. So that knocks a bunch of that off of my list to begin with. As far as foods are concerned, that one's really tough. Tomato sauces, pasta sauces, things that are really red and rich, those will stain your clear ligatures kind of like a yellowy orange color. Asparagus, oddly enough, asparagus stains your ligatures a neon green color. It's kind of weird. It's like a really strange, like vibrant color that you would almost expect to be like blacklight reactant. And then other than that, again, it's all just things that stain. So like curries and cumins and turmeric, things that are really deep in yellow or deep in orange. I mean, you just gotta steer clear of them or at least be cognizant of them. So if you are gonna eat them, I would just suggest brushing your teeth within 30 minutes of eating them and you should be fine. That's generally my rule of thumb if I'm gonna like eat pizza, or pasta. I just make sure I brush my teeth within 30 minutes and they're usually good to go. The last question that's a common question that's not directly from one person is, did you need any unexpected extra work as far as my braces were concerned? Yes and no. So my orthodontist suggested me to do two different things. I did end up doing one of them, but I didn't need to do either of them if I didn't want to. So the first big thing was my orthodontist did suggest me have jaw surgery. I put a big no on that. The second she said it, I was like, absolutely not. But that's also me going into the process understanding that they're not going to be perfect at the end of it because I didn't get the jaw surgery and I'm okay with that. My end goal was literally to be able to eat a burger or a slice of pizza in public and not feel self-conscious about it because I can eat it and actually take a bite out of it. So as long as I got my teeth kind of close enough to actually bite through food, I was happy. The second thing that she suggested I do, which is the one thing that I actually did do, was get my wisdom teeth taken out. A lot of my family and my extended family, we all have our wisdom teeth. Like my grandfather still has all his wisdom teeth. And because I guess I have like a small amount of space to work with inside of my mouth, she just said, you know, it could not help. It may help. It might not help. But if you can do it, you know, it might make the process easier because it'll give you a little more space to work with. And I said, all right, I'll do the wisdom teeth removal because I'm not doing the jaw surgery. So in my mind, it was like weighing one or the other. So yeah, I got my wisdom teeth pulled. I did not have jaw surgery. Okay, so I'm going to my Instagram questions here. These are the questions you guys specifically asked me to answer for you. These are, I think I actually answered a lot of these in my like most frequently asked questions. So I'll try and shout you guys out if I can. But Savannah_Estes asked how to keep your teeth white while you have braces on. This is one of those upkeep things because my orthodontist and my dentist both said, do not use whitening products when you have braces. It's not that it's going to harm your braces, but when you get your braces off, it may result in your tooth being whiter than the area underneath of your bracket. You're not supposed to use whitening stuff. However, I know tons of people who have braces who use whitening products while they're in their braces and they're perfectly fine. So that's up to you if you want to test it or not. I am not an orthodontist. I'm not a dentist. This is just what I'm being told. So they told me don't use whitening products. I'm not using whitening products. _Jamie Mack asked me if anything unexpected happened while I was in braces. Yeah, as an adult, I didn't expect them to be as painful as they were. They're not always painful, but when you get an adjustment, sometimes you can like feel the one tooth moving, or like you'll randomly wake up, not like in the middle of the night or something, but you know, you just wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, I can feel that tooth moving. That was unexpected. Also, the amount of times I was put in separators for these braces was unexpected. I couldn't even tell you the amount of times that she put separators in, took them out. We did work, and then she put separators in again for some other work. And then also, I have both back molars. My molars, I guess they're 1 and 2 on the lower both sides and upper both sides banded with the full metal band that like slips around your tooth. So I have 8 metal bands in my mouth. That was unexpected. I just assumed your back molar gets abandoned, end of story. Leo.Van Doom asked me, what was the feeling when you first got them on? Honestly, not gonna lie, it was, ow, my mouth hurts. I remember like laying on the couch being nervous to get I can't remember right now. I got one, I think maybe the bottom ones. I think I got my bottom ones put on first, and then I went back to the orthodontist like 2 weeks later and got my top ones on. My orthodontist works a lot differently than other people I've heard. For the first several months, like 3 or 4 months, I was in the orthodontist office like every 2 weeks because she was taking things so slowly. And I was very appreciative of that, because had she put everything in all at once, like separators, steel bands, brackets, elastics, I would probably not have been a happy camper. But again, most people are getting braces put on just to kind of straighten teeth or like move one tooth around or something. I'm closing my entire bite and correcting my entire bite. So like my teeth didn't line up like this center to center. My teeth like lined up off to the side. That's what a crossbite is. But because it was also open, my teeth were always open, and the only thing that hit were my back 2 molars on each side. So we were correcting a lot of stuff in my mouth. Most people don't have something that severe that they're correcting. I had a couple people ask me what I would suggest, clear versus metal. And that is a personal preference. I will tell you the only difference between the two is that the ceramic brackets are a little bit bigger than the metal brackets are. I think that's just to help them be a little stronger and a little more sturdy. So it's a personal preference for you, what you want them for, what you need them for. If your orthodontist charges an upcharge for the ceramic brackets versus the metal brackets. So I can't really answer that question. I apologize for that, but do with it what you wish. Oh, but I do remember one thing. So there was another extra thing that I didn't expect to happen. And when we started using elastics, my elastics were not catching on this hook on the ceramic. Because they were so out of line with the bottom hook, just because of how my teeth were. So my orthodontist used this like little white metal wire hook thingy called a Kobayashi hook, and it attaches to any bracket. It's basically just a free range bracket to be added wherever she needs it. She said at one point in time she might have to add them to these 2 front teeth, but we never ended up having to do that, which is pretty awesome. Otherwise I would have had elastics like here. But yeah, it's called a Kobayashi hook. It just wraps around and acts as like a temporary hook. So I was having to hook through my ceramic and my Kobayashi hook to go and hook back to the other stuff. I hope that answered as many questions as I could. You guys are always free to ask me questions on Instagram, and I will try to answer to them to the best of my ability. And also, I do get a lot of questions of, can I video my orthodontist process or my appointments? And no, because I go in and I kind of get out. Like, I'm not in there for a long time. My orthodontist is like really popular in our area, so her appointments are stacked back to back to back. I'm usually booking my appointments 2 or 3 appointments ahead of time, so that's 2 and 3 months out. So yeah, I can't video that. However, depending on how my schedule lines up with my mom on the day that I get my braces removed, I may ask her to come and video some sections of that just so you guys can see it, because I know it is really pleasing when people get their metal brackets taken off and you can see them all get bloop, bloop, bloop. They just get like popped, and then the whole thing comes out in like one solid wire with all of your brackets on it. I think that would be really super cool to see, especially like after the fact. But also because I've never seen someone, or I've never seen a video of someone having ceramic brackets removed, and I personally would be very interested to see what that looks like. So yeah, if my mom is free the day that I get my braces taken off, I will ask her to join me and maybe hold my hand while I'm there, but definitely come and do a little videography of my appointments. Other than that, we are all done with this video. Also, don't forget to like this video, and if you like makeup stuff or unboxing things, that's usually what I do on my YouTube channel, so you can check out one of those videos right here. Otherwise, I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.